Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Today I'm so excited because I'm going to be testing out the new Natasha Denona Love palette. So I haven't tried very many Natasha Denona products. I got the Blush and Bloom, I think is what it is, in my BoxyCharm. And when I ordered this, I also ordered the Sunrise palette and tried that out the other day, and I really liked it. So try this out, and then also just do like a full look that you could use for Valentine's Day, since that is coming up. So let's open this palette up so you can see. Oh my goodness. Looks like this, nice and pink. And then on the back, it does have a little hole where each pan is, so if you wanted to pop them out, you could. And then here are all of the beautiful colors. So you could do a very neutral-ish eye with like some of the lighter pinks and the golds, or go really out with the purples and the reds. So we will jump on into this. So I'm actually going to do my eyes first today, just because when you have like pinks and reds, sometimes they can splash all over. So I just want to make sure that we don't get it all on the rest of the face where we already have foundation. So we're going to do foundation after we do the eyes. So I'm going to zoom you in. Just make sure you are subscribed to my channel and click the bell right down below so you'll be notified of all of my future uploads. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually put some concealer on my eyes. So I'm going to just take the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm shade Light Sand in this. Just put a dab on each eye, and then we'll blend that out just so that there's some product to hide all of that redness. I'm just going to take the eyeshadow palette to use as a mirror. And then just a flat brush. It's okay if concealer gets down below. And then just bring that all the way up and use the finger if you need to. And then on the other side, I have like this dry patch right here, and you can always see it once I put any cream or powder products down on it. And you can just see the difference. Like there's not that redness. Like I have like the redness that I have down here usually on my eyes too. So that just gets rid of that redness just to have a base down on the eye. So first step, pretty much all the brushes I'm going to use today are from the new ColourPop brush roll for the eyes. So the first brush I'm going to use is the E15 brush. So it's this super fluffy brush. And I'm going to go into the shade that's called First right here, just all over the lid, because it's pretty much my skin tone, just to set down that concealer. And then it makes it so that concealer won't be tacky anymore. But I really like the Tarte Shape Tape because it just can go pretty much with anything and just make it all smoothed out, get rid of any discoloration on your face. I'm just still trying to decide which colors in this palette I really want to use, because there's just so many pretty colors. Next up, I'm going to stick with that same E15 brush, and I'm going to go into this intense shade right here. And really just like on the tip of that brush. And just start packing it in. I don't want to go too heavy too quickly because I don't want it to go out of control. Because Natasha Denona shadows are known to be super pigmented, so I don't want it to go crazy. Take a little more of that shade. So pretty, and these shadows are working so easy, and there's really not a ton of fallout, especially if right after you dip it in you just tap your brush just to get any of that loose stuff off. It works really good. But this shadow is so pretty. I'm really liking this shade. So there's some harshness, but we'll go back in with like a clean fluffy brush just to make that all go away in a second. So back into that first shade on the other eye. So today we have a ton of snow here and have a snow day from work and all the kids have school off. It's crazy, so decided I'd film this instead of on the weekend like I usually film my videos. So getting this a little earlier than I was planning to, which will be nice. And the next step, I'm going to take the E16 brush, that's a little smaller fluffy brush, into this Soul color right here. Whew, the shade is gonna look very pigmented. And then just really focus this on the outer part of the eye, and then we'll slowly bring it in. And I like this brush because you can see it's kind of flatter, so you can really work it in to that crease really well without it getting all over. And the good thing about doing your eyes first is if you get stuff going all over, you can clean it up before you do your foundation. My hair is going everywhere. So I do always moisturize first no matter what, even if I do my eyes first. So that's a little tidbit for you of my routine. But I usually put moisturizer on before I even do my hair. In the mornings for work, I will put my moisturizer on and then brush my hair and do my hair for the day. So it's a very pinky eye, but I think I'm gonna jump into one of these purples just because they're so pretty. So yeah. Next up, I'm gonna take the E19 brush, that's a tiny little brush, and I'm gonna go into Trust, to this super dark purpley shade, and I'm gonna put that mostly on the outer V of the eye, just to give a little bit of purple into the eye. But so far, these shadows are a dream, which honestly, for the price of her palettes, and this one's on the cheaper side, and so is that Sunrise palette, I would hope that they perform. And just really focus this on the outer part of the eye. And then I'm going to go back in with that brush that we used for Soul and just kind of work it in so it blends in with those other colors up top. We'll do that on this eye as well. And then I'm going to go in with this E17 brush into this light shade called Valentine. Just put a little bit, and I'm going to run this along the top just to soften out that line and really blend that up. And that will give it so it's not so harsh of a line. Like, look at the difference. Like, it's super harsh right here, and it's nice and faded on this side. If I know I'm doing like a super colorful eye that I don't want to have harsh lines, I'll tend to do this where I'll go in with the darker stuff and then go back in with the lighter shade just to soften it all up. And honestly, I probably could have done my foundation before. There's like no fallout of these colors at all. If you look up close, like you can tell there's and nothing there. So now I have to decide on which shimmer to use. I think I'm gonna swatch them and show you so we can decide on which shimmer to use. So this is Giving. It's a super pinky shade. And Pure Love. It's a purpley pink shade right there. That's really pretty. I think I might do that one. Here's this gold shade called Lifetime. It kind of has like some pinky purple undertones right here. My hand would focus. Transparent. It's right here. So that definitely, so this is more gold, this is more pinky undertones. I'll wipe my fingers off. There's so many shimmers in here. This is called Passion. Right here is Passion. That one's really pretty too. And this one is like a silvery gray called Blind. I think I'm gonna go in with this one, that Pure Love shade. That's really pretty. Go in with my finger. I've been liking to do that lately with shimmery shades just so they stick really good. Let's go in Pure Love all over the lid. And I find if you use your finger, there's less fallout. That is a pretty shade. And I will do a little bit of cleanup after. The shimmery shade, the Pure Love, almost reminds me of the Poet shade in Tati Beauty, which is really pretty, but it almost reminds me of that. So I'm gonna go in with the flat brush just to get in those inner corners really good and kind of just detail out. And then I'm gonna go back in with the E16 brush and just run it along and kind of tap in off the side. And then I'm gonna go in with the makeup remover just to get underneath where my finger hit. And just clean that up a little bit. And off to the sides and clean that all up to make kind of like a line going up. Okay, we'll come back to this palette after we do face makeup, just because you want to have your foundation and stuff down before you do under the eyes and before I do my inner corner. So first step for primer, decide which primer I want to use. So many. I think I'm going to use the Fourth Ray Beauty Watermelon Face Milk. So this is ColourPop's skincare line. So just going to use, like, you barely need any of this. So like a drop on either side works wonders. So I think that Ulta is actually going to start carrying some of the Fourth Ray products and the Soul products that ColourPop makes, which I think is great because you can get more stuff, but I think it's only online for now. So there is that caveat. So next up, I am going to go into the Zoeva foundation. I really like this. It's a Lumi foundation, but you can build it up to be pretty full coverage, which I have been liking. And I've been liking the Lumi look lately. That is definitely this year's trend. So much stuff is Lumi this year, which I really like. So I'm just gonna squirt a little bit on my face. And I am shade 110N in this. So, let me zoom you out a tiny bit. And then I'm gonna go in with the Tati Beauty Blendiful and just blend this out. I have been loving this Blendiful. It works so good. I tend to put the foundation just right on my face. I know she says use like a little palette thing or whatever, but that's more cleaning for me to do. So I'll just do it this way and kind of pat it out, and then places I need to, I'll rub it like down my neck and wherever. But you can really work with this. I find I use a lot less product for the more full coverage foundations than I used to use, so that is nice. So next up, I am going to go into that Tarte Shape Tape. And it's the same shade I used on my eyelids. And just bring some under my eye, and I won't use as much as I usually use because when I do my eyes after, I bring this concealer onto my eyes as well. And just bring it all down the face. And then I'm going to use that same Blendiful, but turn it and just use another corner. Just start blending out. And I really like how the Blendiful just smooths out the skin. It just makes it look so nice. And it's so easy to work with. I do wash my Blendiful every day. I usually wait till the end of the day when I get home from work, just so that I have more time to sleep in the morning, honestly. And not make as much noise in the morning washing it. So I will wash it when I get home at the end of the day, usually. And then if I shower, because I usually shower at night, so if I'm showering at night, then I will just bring it into the shower with me and wash it in there, just because of my shower head it just works better because it can get underneath all the fibers and just wash it really good. Just blend that out. And it just covers up all my redness. I am really red today for some reason. I think it's because it's so cold here and I've been sneezing like crazy because the weather keeps changing. Like last weekend, it was 70 degrees on Sunday, and then it snowed. And then today's Friday, and it snowed again. So I'm just going crazy with it. Like, I'm not sick or anything. It's just the weather changing so dramatically always makes me feel super crappy. Next up, we are going to do a little cream contouring. So I'm going to go in with Tarte Shape Tape, but in the shade Medium Sand. So light medium or light sand for under the eyes, and then medium tan sand. So both in the sand range that they have. And just put a little bit on. And a little on the forehead. And I'm going to take that third corner of the Blendiful that's clean and just work this in. I've been loving using the Blendiful for like every product on my face. Other than like eyeshadow, it works so good. especially like highlighters, it just makes them so blinding. It's crazy. And I like this shade for cream contour because it's not too dark, so you can still use a good amount of bronzer and a powder contour and it doesn't look ridiculous. And I barely use any of the product just because the Blendiful works so good. See, and you just can take it and fold it and it's like the perfect line. But for Valentine's Day, if you're going out or even staying in, do your makeup. And I like to do full coverage because you probably are going to take pictures. And if you're staying in, you might take a picture or two. My husband and I are doing kind of a little staycation because I have Valentine's Day off and it's a 4-day weekend for me. So I'm excited for that. So we're just going to a nice hotel that is near us for 2 nights, which will be really fun. So next up, I'm going to take a fresh Blendiful because I use 2 of these, one for creams and one for powders, just because I don't want to flip it inside out and then I just have stuff everywhere. So there's that. I'm going to go into the Huda Beauty powder, the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder in the shade Pound Cake. I've been really liking this. It does, however, have a really strong, like not super strong, but it definitely has a rose scent to it like a lot of her products do. So just be warned that if you have problems with scents, I would not use this. I would use the Fenty Beauty powder. That works really good. Or the Morphe setting powder. So either one of those are good options if you have problems with the scent of the Huda Beauty. I really like this because look, the powder just stays on there. You just can bring it in. And I'm gonna let the sit for a little bit under the eyes. And I really like this powder, just like smooths out the skin. And it gives a little bit of added coverage, but not like too much to where it looks so cakey. And then pack a little bit on the nose. I have to pack powder on my nose because it will get way too oily by the end of the day. So do that. And then the rest of the face, I'm just gonna blend lightly in. I pack it a lot more where I put the lighter concealer shade, so I make it like this, but when I'm going to the rest, I kind of open this up a little bit and go in and just kind of lightly tap it just so it gets everywhere. Just blend it in just so my face isn't all tacky. I hate that feeling where you're like, oh, I missed a spot of powder and it's like super tacky. So that has baked for a little bit, so I'm just gonna go back in with the Blendiful and kind of just pat in any of that excess, and it kind of just blends in, it dissipates as much as you need to. You can also use a brush to brush it away, or if you don't have the Blendiful under the eyes, I pack it in with like a small brush, like, let's see if I can find one. Like a small brush like this, just to really pack it under the eyes, and then the rest of the face use like a fluffy brush. And I don't bake for a super long time. That was probably on my face for like a minute or two, just to get that color. And then you have a nice set face. And next, I have been really liking this powder to do like just a light finish onto the skin. So this is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, and this is the shade Light. So it just has a little shimmer, so it has this twisty cap. So just twist it and pour a little bit into the cap. And then just take some on a fluffy brush because I don't want this to really be packed in. Because this is like a glowy product. And just like run it on the face just to get that shimmer on the skin. And it gives like a nice little glow to the skin without being too overpowering. If you like set your face with this, you're gonna see like little spots of glitter like where you, like under your eyes where you really pack it in. But if you do like a more matte powder and then this, you get a nice finish. So I'll zoom. Okay, you can see there's like a slight glow to the skin. And next up for bronzer, I'm going to go into the L'Oreal Bronze Please palette. And take the Blendful that I use to set all of my face. And I just take one of the corners, fold it like this, and just put some on. And then just start working it in to the trick. And I love how this just blends so seamlessly and it doesn't have any of those super harsh lines. I go in with a little bit to start and then build it up because Blendful, you don't need to use as much of the product. And then put some on the forehead, just where I put that contour just to blend it. And this is a shimmer bronzer, which I really like for all over the face. And then I'm going to take the Hoola Benefit, or the Benefit Hoola, I guess I should say. Let's see if I can find this little brush. Take just like a thin brush and just like dab it in, and I'm going to contour out my nose. And it looks a little harsh right now, but go back in and just dab that out just to blend it really good. And it just makes that nose look so narrow. Whew, we are rolling today. Next up, I'm going to take a flat top brush and go into that Trust shade, the palette, so that purpley shade right here, and go beneath the lash line. And this is going to be pretty tight. And then go in with, oh, I'll find it, the E17 brush that had that light pink, and just kind of like smudge this out. Just to make it so it's not as harsh a line. And I don't really add any more product. I just use whatever was left on the brush. And then I'm going to go in with a ColourPop cream gel liner in the shade Bestos. It's kind of like this maroon, like dark purpley maroony shade. So that will look really pretty. Just go into the waterline with that. Now, And I love the ColourPop gel liner. They're just so pigmented and just work so well. Next up, I'm going to take the E20 brush from that brush roll and go into the transparent shade. So it's this shade right here on a little brush and put that right on the inner corner. You see it just pops the eye, and then beneath the brow bone. And then we'll go in with a little bit of brow gel. I don't really do my brows that much, even for special occasions. I usually just go in with a little bit of brow gel. And this is the Tarte Busy Gal Brow in the shade Medium Brown. And just run this quickly through the brows, just to place everything and get rid of those sparse parts. But since my eyebrows are already pretty full, I tend to not do that step. Half the time it's because I forget, because I'm like, oh, I have eyebrows. And then just see, it just fills it in. It looks like I have Instagram brows when all I did was put some brow gel in, just because I was blessed with good brows. I did overpluck them. We'll say that, like everybody did when I was in college. There was a time when my brows were not looking as good. Look back at pictures, I'm like, why did I do that to my eyebrows? Does anybody ever do that and you're like, oh my gosh, why? But if you do want to do your eyebrows like full on, the L'Oreal Paris Brow Stylist Definer or the Anastasia Beverly Hills, honestly, this is kind of a dupe for the Anastasia. So there's the eyes. I'm going to do some blush now. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Blush Please in the Blushing in Saint-Tropez. Take the Blendful. I'm loving this. Like I said, take the other corner and just take like the smallest amount. Like I mean the smallest amount. And just dab it right on. And take some for the other side. And then what I've been doing is I take where I did that bronzer and I kind of like blend that together just to make it so it's nice and soft. And then, ooh, which highlight? I have so many highlighters I've been loving lately, but I think I'm going to go in to the Laura Lee Los Angeles Glazed palette and go into this Glow Gal shade right here. And like I said, the Blendful actually makes highlights look like blinding. So here's the bronzer, here's the blush. Fold it like that and use this little part right here. And like, I mean, the tiniest amount on here. And it is just blinding. And I really like this eyeshadow palette. It works so nice. Or not eyeshadow, the bronzer palette. I can talk. Ooh, I got a little bit more on that side. Let's take some on this side. That's the nice thing. Just blend it, blend it, blend it. And then any left over, go up the nose and on the Cupid's bow. So I am going to put on some lashes. So the lashes that I used are the Ardell Naked Lashes in the style 421. So they're just very subtle. And these, I will say, are the easiest lashes I've ever put on. The band was so thin and it works so good. Like you can see, like I did not put eyeliner on. I just did the back fill with a black liner after. I haven't even blended my real lashes in. Like you can't even tell the difference right now. So that is good. So next up, I'm going to do some setting spray. So of course the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And then I am going to put some mascara on. So I'm going to use the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift. So I'm going to put it to blend in my real lashes with the falsies and on my lower lash line. And I love this mascara, even by itself without falsies. Like you can see, it just makes those lashes so long and so pretty on the bottom. Next up, I'm going to take the NYX Retractable Lip Liner in the shade Nude. You know, if you watched my channel, this is my go-to and it's so cheap. And just put this on. And if you watched, you know I do some stuff to make it look fuller because of the scar right off to the side, so that it kind of disguises it. And then for lips, I really want to try one of these new ColourPop Luxe shades, but I'm not sure which one. So I think I'm going to swatch them on my hands so that we can just see. So this is Casual Dress. It's very creamy. Looks more like a lip balm type thing. So that's Casual Dress. This is Can You Even? Oh my goodness. So going with the middle school and high school. It's, ooh, that's really pretty. That's Can You Even? That's like definitely my type of shade. Room Service. So these, I got them in their little 2-pack things. So that is a Room Service. So that's more like a brownie shade. This one is Get Money. Ooh, this is like a vampy shade right here. So this is Get Money. So super dark brown. I think I'm going to go with this shade, which is Can You Even? You can tell it's definitely my shade, but the eyes are so like bright. I don't want the lip to like overpower the eyes. Just because that palette was so pretty. Yeah, it's very soft and like creamy. Oh my god, and it smells like cupcakes. Oh my god, it smells so good. It's like sugar cookie slash cupcake, like a vanilla cupcake with a buttercream frosting. When I lived in Seattle, we had the best cupcake place called Cupcake Royale. Oh my god, this reminds me of that. So good. And the nude matches so good with it. So that's the shade. And then I'm also going to add a tiny bit of gloss. So see if I can find it. The Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Sweet Mouth I'm going to add on top. Just to give it a nice little juicy look to the lips. And just, I kind of dab it on and then I go in and our eyelids together. kind of light in the shade too. I actually really like that combo together. So that is the lips. So this is the completed look for Valentine's Day. If you like it, use all these products. They are amazing. I know that the Natasha Denona Love palette is a limited edition one, so if you like the colors in this, I would grab it before they sell out. I don't know if they sell out, they'll restock it all. But if you want to try Natasha Denona and you've always like wanted to, but you can't afford the $125 palettes like me, I'm not going to spend that much on a palette. Personally, my husband would kill me. This palette, try it out. It's beautiful. Or if you don't like the shades in this, try the Sunrise palette, which is perfect for spring and summer coming up. But thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to my channel and check out my Instagram. It's m.hartman5, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.